Articles, something, remarkable. Are you gonna play?
I'm nervous because I'm not that good and I don't want them to be like, oh, you suck.
That was pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Cole got me a guitar as a gift and I've had it for 5 days now. Maybe 6, less than a week. And I've been trying to learn, I've been trying to learn a new skill. And Cole's is trying to see how long I actually stay committed to it.
I think he'll stay committed. I mean, geez, she's been playing a lot.
So I've learned a couple songs. I'm definitely not in a good position to play a song. Okay, should I do Wild Thing? It's not gonna be that good, guys, I'm warning you, but I'm gonna try. You wanna sing?
Yeah, no.
3, 2, 1, hit it.
Wild Thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy.
Okay, I can't do it much longer than that.
Wild Thing. I think I love you.
It's only been 5 days, and it's really hard switching, and then it's really hard making sure I press it all down so you can hear all the chords, and so you could tell that I wasn't like hitting everything well.
She doesn't have all the calluses on her fingers yet that she needs.
I just wanted to show you guys my new guitar skills.
Yeah.
It's not what the video is about though.
Today we're gonna talk about some spasms.
Yeah.
We did a night routine video the other day. At one point in the video, I kneed Sophie in the face. You'll always be my first love. Oh, I fell a little crack.
Oh, you need Sophie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, play patty cake.
So I was going on looking at the comments, and a bunch of people were like, oh my goodness, he moves his legs at this time. Cole, did you move your legs? Wait a minute, I'm confused. He can move his legs? And there was a ton of comments.
Yeah, so the secret's out. I'm not actually paralyzed, y'all. I can use my body, and I've been able to this whole time.
Yeah.
No, what happened was I had a muscle spasm. This is something pretty much anybody who's paralyzed deals with. There are definitely people who have worse cases of spasms, people who have moderate cases, and people who hardly have spasms at all. I would say that I'm in the moderate to not an issue at all category. In fact, a lot of my spasms are very helpful, and I've been able to learn how to use them over the years. So we're just gonna kind of talk about what spasms are, why they happen or why we think they happen, and show some examples of weird spasms, I think. Spasm. Yeah.
Oh. How's that?
Oh, almost fell.
From our first date, I knew what they were because he has them every single day.
It's so awkward at dinner when I spasm and my knees jump up and start shaking the table.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, this is normal. And they're like, oh,
what can I do? How can I help?
Yeah, I think you said that the first day.
And so it is very interesting, but like Cole was saying, it's different for everyone, and for some people it's really painful. Thankfully, that's not the case for Cole.
Yeah, the people who have very painful spasms have some options to deal with them, although there really aren't a lot of great treatments for severe spasms. So there are medicines like baclofen that you can take either orally if it's not too bad of a case, but you can also get a baclofen pump, which is injecting the medication straight into your spinal cord from an implanted device.
I think that we should show, like you said, some video of you spazzing. Spazzing?
It's probably spasming.
Spasming.
It's also known as clonus.
I don't think it's clonus.
Oh. All right, never mind.
Oh, maybe it is clonus. Okay, so I know there's tone and there's clonus. And I think it might be clonus and not tone. We're not sure. Maybe we'll put what it really is right here.
Yeah, Amanda put it right there. A quick example that I could show you, if I have a spasm stored up here, we'll see in a second.
Your hand?
Yeah, my hand spasm.
That's a good one.
So my hands are flaccid. I can't use my fingers at all, so you can kind of flick them around if you want. And just see, they're totally loose. I also can't do my hand up, so like show them the motion I can't do. Like I can't do that on my own on purpose.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But sometimes when I spasm, I can do it, so here we go. Oh,
you got a big spasm.
And that was a clench, and my leg's shaking a little bit too. So that's an example of just one of the spasms I can do. A weird thing is I can do that with my right hand, but I get nothing except some thumb twitches on that hand, which is interesting. I don't know what it is about the right side of my body that's more spazzy.
Well, can you explain like how you do that? Because he's explained it to me, and I'm like, how are you just making that? How do you make that specific part spaz?
That's a good question. Not positive. What I do know just from years of being quad is that I kind of have spasms build up if I've been like kind of still or not active for a long time. So like every 30 minutes, if I'm just kind of like sitting here watching TV, I'll be able to get a big spasm out like that. Is that what I did?
Watching TV.
So like if I'm playing video games for a while, eventually my legs just go crazy with these gigantic spasms and it knocks my whole table around. I don't know why they build up like that. I have some theories, but I just kind of take a deep breath, inhale as much as I can, lean forward, kind of like compressing my spinal cord, I guess. And then I might get another. Oh, yeah, I got another, and my leg's going crazy down there.
Leg's kicking too. Your leg is going crazy.
Yep. Oh. So we'll put my leg back. But my most intense ones are the leg spasms knocking the table.
No, they're your back spasms, Cole. You have intense back spasms, right?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in the morning when I get into my chair for the first time, my back just wants to flex like crazy. Yeah. So I'll just be sitting here like this, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoa! And I'm all the way back. Ugh. Those are intense ones. Also in the mornings, my legs go crazy, so Charisma has to battle my legs.
So Cole sleeps with the pillows between his legs. Someone actually suggested that we use a maternity pillow between your knees. That would be so smart, because women sleep with pillows between their knees, and it's better than just a regular pillow. It's made specifically to be between your knees. Well, when I'm pregnant though, I got it to get back, so.
And I'll go back to normal
and
pillow.
Then you go back to normal pillow.
Okay.
In the morning, because Cole sleeps with his legs together, I straighten them out, and his knees fly everywhere. So I've almost got kneed in the face. He's almost kneed himself in the face.
I think like my body wants to be in the position it's normally in. Mm-hmm. So when I'm sitting in my chair, I'm kind of in like this, square position with my legs and my back. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm at night, I'm also in that position. I'm just laying on my side. So when I lay on my back and stretch everything out, it wants to kind of coil back into that like right angular position. And so it's a good thing to stretch things out and get some, length in there, elasticity into those joints and those muscles again.
Yeah, especially your knees and your hips, because those are always at a 90-degree angle.
Yes, exactly. Another spasm that's really weird that we can't explain at all, when I'm laying on the bed and Charisma slaps the bottom of my foot.
Oh yeah.
It makes my hand twitch, and we don't know why. We'll overlay some footage of us doing it right now, but yeah, she just slaps the bottom of my foot and then twitch, and it's like, I don't get it.
So my best friend Brianna is in PT school, and she asked her PT professor about it, and she sent us some explanation, I can't remember, but it has to do with reflexes. So you have reflexes in your foot, and I'm just stimulating those reflexes that's making you do that. And so it's kind of like reflexes that you have as a baby that changes as you get older, I think.
Well, our whole body is an electricity machine.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like sending volts of electricity around my body. Mm-hmm. So I asked my neuroscience professor what causes muscle spasms when I was at University of Richmond, and he couldn't give me a definitive answer, but his take on it was that with our spinal cord, messages are constantly being sent from the outward parts of our body, or distal parts of our body, up to our brain and back. It's our afferent and efferent nerves. If your knee got hit, afferent neurons are going to send a message to your spinal cord or your central nervous system to communicate with your brain, and so your brain knows something's happening and can make a decision on what needs to be done in response to that signal. Those afferent neurons are sending a message. It's coming up to my injury site where the lesion is and getting blocked, because where the scar tissue from my injury is blocking any messages getting through my spinal cord to my brain. Therefore, my brain cannot override any decisions that those afferent neurons are trying to make, because they're like, hey, tell me what to do. I don't know what to do. And so what happens is that signal just kind of bounces back to those neurons, and they just think, okay, I'm gonna do something. And so they spasm, and like they activate whatever muscles are in that region, whatever. I think that's a pretty good explanation. It's just like your brain is not able to override those signals. Basically, it's just not being able to communicate with the brain. And so it's just acting on its own. Spasms are very complex. I don't think that there's a definitive answer, or at least if there is, I haven't heard it yet.
It's very beneficial in Cole's case. His muscles stay strong because he spasms so much, and I think that's why he has more definition in his legs than many people. But I think when Cole's legs are uncomfortable, that's when they spasm too. So if he's been sitting in a position too long, or if someone's leaning on his leg or something's leaning on his legs start to spasm, and I think that's his body like, hey, like I need to readjust. Yeah, I need a new position. This is too much.
That's interesting because like when we take long road trips and I transfer out of this chair into a car seat, which obviously isn't custom made to prevent pressure sores, after I'm sitting there for a long time, I've learned a signal that it's time for me to do a weight shift.
What?
And my thumb starts twitching.
Oh, interesting.
So
you didn't tell me that.
I don't know what it is about my butt being uncomfortable and making my thumb start to twitch, but when I see that that's happening or feel that that's happening, I know it's time to do a weight shift. And then it'll stop for about an hour, and then again, I will start twitching later and do it again. So that's how some of these spasms can be very helpful, and they're also helpful with like transferring into bed. Like I know some quads, when they put their pants on and they're laying straight on their back at night, all they have to do is throw their arms above their head, and that movement causes their legs to jump up to their chest. And then they can grab their legs before they fall back down, and then that's how they can operate their clothes or get their clothes on or put their legs off the bed to transfer.
We're very fortunate that Sophie is okay around Cole when he has spasms. Cole's parents' dog, Kenai, couldn't stand when Cole had spasms. He'll run away because I think Cole's kicked him a couple of times by accident. But Sophie, you've kicked Sophie before and she just comes over even closer. Like, she's like, I don't care, I'm supposed to be with you.
Well, if someone's sitting there with their leg crossed like that, she'll walk and stand, put her legs over that person's legs so they'll start scratching her stomach.
Yeah.
So sometimes when my leg is here and it shoots out into a spasm, she'll come walk and stand over it so like I start scratching her stomach. No, Sophie has been great. She's so good around my chair, my spasms, and my quadness.
She got spayed, and the vet told us that she was a little bit of a bleeder, and so they had to make the incision bigger and go in deeper to stop the bleed. So she was prescribed some intense medication, pain meds, because he figured she'd have more pain than normal. She's resting, she's super quiet. She's like, she acts like she can't hear us right now, even though I know she knows we're talking about her.
Anyway, I hope that answers your questions about spasms. If you are like a neuroscientist or something and you've studied this kind of stuff and you have a more clear answer for what spasms are, why they happen, please put it in the comments and we'll pin it to the top. Because we would like to hear an expert's opinion on this. If you have other questions about spasms or other things like this that we have to deal with, let us know in the comments as well, and we might do a video covering that.
Yes, I hope that answered your guys' question and speculation when you saw Cole almost knee Sophie in the face.
Oh, I fell.
Because that is very interesting to see when you know someone can't move their body from chest down, so.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yes, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and stay positive.
You gonna play it out? Oh.
I almost hit you.
Almost.